I was in television news, I knew I had to know the customer. I worked for 3 years in Bakersfield, California before coming here. Out there, I would ask people, what do you want to see on the evening sports? And I found out they weren't as hardcore sports fans. They liked a lot of more outdoors things and some of the different kind of sports like triathlons and running and all those kind of things. And that's what I put on the air. I found out who were their favorite teams. And then when I came here, one thing I did was I got to all the local civic clubs and I asked people, what do you want to see? I asked people that had been here before, previous sports guys. And I learned things. Like, there was a time in the mid-1980s when the ratings for the Chicago Bears were higher than Notre Dame football. Yeah, and that there was a time there was much more interest in Indiana University basketball than Notre Dame basketball because there were so many IU alums here. Purdue, Big Ten. And then I found out that people said, there hadn't been enough high school sports. And so I made that a major point of emphasis. And that led to big Friday night sponsored shows, just by asking what they want. And it changes, what customers want over the years. Back in those days, the Colts had come and there was very little interest in them. Today it's about 50-50 Colts-Bears. Because when Peyton Manning and Tony Dungy came, they created such a following in the Colts 1-1-1 that today it used to be 95% Bears, 5% Colts, now it's about 50-50. IU basketball went down, now it's back up. Notre Dame football is now much more involved than the Bears. And all those kind of things is by knowing the customers. And the quote down here at the bottom, Leonard Berry has studied customer service, says the number one attribute customers value in service they receive is reliability. It's just being reliable. It's funny, like with me, I only go to certain places to get coffee because I know it's got to be hot. I don't know why that is. I just freak out. Sometimes I'm like Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, when he has to see his movie. But reliability. Well, the next thing, we're going to play a video. But first of all, before we do that, if you can go back, I want to play a fun video. When people see this screen and they see the little topics, they always see this one over here. In a second, I'm going to play it, Chainsaw Man. They go, what the heck is that? Well, knowing your customers. One thing I found was the viewers around here like to see fun. They used to love it when Cindy Ward and Rick Mecklenburg would give each other grief about things. People say, oh, we just like that. You guys have fun, and all that kind of thing. And so every once in a while after the 11 o'clock news, I would put a bit on that was sort of like Letterman. And every year we'd have this goofy intern graduation. We'd have interns and we'd pretend like there was a commencement ceremony. It was just silly. And I met this fellow on the golf course one time that could sound like a chainsaw. So I brought him into the studio to have him the performer for graduation. And here is Chainsaw Man, if you could play that. Now is Chainsaw Man.
Hey, Charlie.
There you have it. So if you're sitting out there during this program and that fella, he can only do that like once a day or he passes out. So the talents we have in this world, and I just knew some of you the whole time, what in the world is Chainsaw Man? But a lot of these clips I use in different attitude and customer service programs. Some of them are half day, so I play a lot more videos.